Hello and welcome to one more podcast where we explore the journey of our colleagues, graders, and today in the podcast is Zeenat Vakil. Zeenat needs no introduction. She is someone who makes sure that everything that I do is done according to a plan. She is not only uh, helping me as a executive assistant, but she is also someone who has been a part of many strategic projects, whether it is building the culture of the organization to the Great Managers League Summit. Zeenat, welcome to this conversation.
Thank you so much, PJ. Thank you so much for the lovely introduction also.
So, Zeenat, one of the things which, needless to say, that many of our colleagues would be very interested in is in knowing about you more as a person. Tell us a little bit about your childhood, your upbringing, family, education, and right up to marriage.
Okay, to begin with, I grew up in a very traditional family. My immediate family consisted of my parents, my brother, and my grandmother. And being a part of a very conservative family, I was raised with very strict rules. So, like working outside from the home, coming back home late, that was all like a big no. However, I was like fortunate to have my mom and my uncle's uncle, who's my dad's eldest brother, his support. They like literally believed in me and encouraged me to pursue my dreams. So now the dream, that was like a big thing. The dream was to work in a bank. I don't know why, but this was like stuck on my mind. I think when I was in the eighth or ninth standard, I had it on my mind that when I grow up, I want to work in a bank, and I maybe manifested it. So, like immediately after my graduation, I'm a commerce graduate. Immediately after my graduation, I was lucky enough to get a job in a multinational bank, and from there it all started. And yes, I was amongst the maybe the first girl in my family to take up a job outside. It was like a big thing that time. Like people didn't expect that something like this could happen. And after marriage also, I think I was really blessed to have a husband and my in-laws who fully supported my desire to work. So like if I have to look back, my both the families, my before marriage also, my parents, my afterwards also, I've got very good family support who helped me to break these barriers and achieve my goals.
So, Zeenat, that's amazing to know. And I also spent a lot of time in the banking industry. So, quick question to you is, who are the people who really influenced you as a person, your personality, your values when you were growing up, and who shaped you as a person? If you have to pick up one or two, who would they be and how did they influence you, Zeenat?
Okay, so I've actually spoken about this before also, but I have always mentioned about my uncle, my dad's brother. He's been like the biggest support from me for everything, and he has really influenced me in each and every way. Like in a household where these traditional values are dictated by most decisions, he was the one who stood out and who believed that, like, education is a must. You have to be independent. You have to have an ambition in life, regardless of whatever people say around. And like he was the one who constantly supported me in to pursue my studies. He also went ahead that you should go for post graduation, you should do other things, but just educate yourself well. That's going to be like the base for your for anything that you do in life. And yes, he supported me a lot. He literally helped me. He went out of the way to help me achieve my dreams also. He was the one who actually maybe so because of him today, I got that courage कि, okay, I could take that step and I could work outside. He built that courage in me, literally, that where people around, where I know that Girls were not that encouraged also to work outside. He was the one that knows, Zeenat, if you want to do, I think you should go ahead and do it. So today, whatever I owe, much of my professional journey and my personal growth also, it is because of him. Definitely, I can say.
Surely, there must have been other cousins, maybe your uncle's own children or daughters who are studying and who are working. Uh, why is it that in that entire family, which is so conservative, your uncle was somewhat different in the way he approached women and in terms of their education and career?
See, he has two sons. He didn't have a girl, so maybe that factor was always there. And I always showed that interest. My inclination was always there. He asked me before I passed my 10th standard also that what do you want to do? Which stream do you want to take? What is your interest in? Okay, you like accounts. What do you like in accounts? I am a chartered accountant. I can help you. He was always there to guide me, support me till the last day also. When I got my result, he was like, "You're sure you want to do this?" He saw to it that I took the right decision, and not only till the decision, but throughout my graduation also. He was always there to support me and encourage me. Okay, you are doing really good. You know, I really didn't expect that you're going to be that great, but I'm absolutely happy. In fact, there was one time when he introduced me to his boss, saying that she's my daughter and she's working in a bank. So his boss looked at me and he smiled. He said, "She has got in the bank without any reference. Huh? I have not put a word or anything. She's come up on her own." So that was like a big achievement for me that time. I still remember that.
And I still remember from the time I interviewed you, you got the Best Performer Award, maybe more than once in that particular bank. And this was uh, that was such a big brand name as well as a foreign bank. Uh, and and then you got married. And tell us the story about what happened after that, and who all are there in your immediate family right now.
Okay, so in my immediate family now includes my husband. I have two beautiful daughters and my in-laws and my sister-in-law. Sadly, we lost my father-in-law 2 years back because of cancer. But yes, that has I can say that has affected us very deeply. But as a family, yes, I think we've come more closer together now.
Yes,
And
and go ahead.
yes, turning point of my life. I think after 2 years of marriage, yeah, that was basically yes, 2 years of marriage. The biggest turning point in my life was the terrible accident that I had. It's been like 10 years now, but I like freshly remember it. It had left me completely bedridden for almost like 3 months. I was flat on the back, unable to move for those. The recovery was even more than 3 months, but the bedridden part was like for 3 months, and I had to undergo various treatments. So those months were very challenging for me, both physically and emotionally. And I had to literally like rely on basic tasks also, like eating or walking or going to the washroom. That also, like I was dependent, and it was really taking a toll on me that, when am I going to get up? When are things going to be normal? And this is when I think I thought back. I said that if now this has happened, I can't change. Let me just think about it, that how can I make this better? How can this time that I am on the bed, how do I utilize it better? And then I don't know, like suddenly when I started like improving, maybe I started eating on my own. That time I realized that we are not just being thankful for small things also, what God has given us. So that really struck me very hard, and I started finding gratitude for each and every small thing. Okay, I have moved maybe a 1 centimeter, not even 1 inch. I've moved 1 centimeter today. That is also like a big achievement for me. I'm eating on my own. I can pick up the spoon and eat on my own. That is also like a big thing for me. So slowly, this changed me completely as a person. It, it helped me to maybe, I can say no, it shaped me rather to be more thoughtful, more grounded, and maybe an appreciative person who now knows the value of both the small joys in life and importance of helping others, how important it is uh, to help people around you.
Yes, the accident you are referring to is a road accident that happened more than 10 years back. And
Yes,
that actually, it was a very traumatic period of your life, and you had to be on the bed. And I still remember we had gone, with the office uh, to Alibag for a strategy session. And at that point in time, maybe that was the first time that you were walking on a slightly uneven, rocky kind of beach near the sea. And you have come absolutely a long way. Today, you you go everywhere. You take buses and auto rickshaws and taxis and all of that. And what I also hear you saying is that sometimes life changing events like that actually teaches you the value of life and every moment of life and the joy and the gratitude of the little things that many people take for granted till such time
absolutely.
they have to be on the bed for 3 months or more like you had to be. and
Yes.
uh, and I think that was also a transition, and you uh, correct me if I'm wrong, then you became a virtual EA at that point in time, is it? Or how did you come back to the workforce?
So then, basically, after the accident, I had to take some rest. I did resume work. I started going to office, but then my immediate line manager, he was moving out of the country. So the work location was very far from the current location, and I didn't find it appropriate that time to travel for that long. And then I think for around like maybe after 3 4 months or so, I realized that I was expecting, and then I was like, okay, let me give some time to my family. But then in that, I got really busy. I used to always think, that how do I get back to this? I really wanted to do it, but at the same time, I knew that I have to give attention to my daughter also. She's very young. I can't leave her like that and go. So then again, thinking process started, and I suddenly realized that let me start something from home that will help me stay connected to what I want to achieve, what my goal is, and also help me balance my family life as well. So gradually, I rebuilt my career, and I got back on track. I started as a VA. I started working as a virtual assistant only from home, and then I think I got to know about GMI, and that's how I think I've got back in track. Maybe this was not possible without you or without GMI.
I remember I had no idea what is a virtual assistant. So I said, you must at least once come to our office for the interview so that I know you are a real person. And of course, these were the days when the
Correct.
AI and generative AI, etc., had not yet fully come into the scene. So, quick question to you. Uh, Having joined GMI, tell us a little bit about what have been your high points at GMI. Have there been any experiences which you thought were particularly meaningful? What have you enjoyed most at GMI?
So over here at GMI, I have enjoyed. First of all, though, I was really scared that if I am getting back to a full-time job, uh, uh, and if I have to work from home, are people going to accept it? Are they going to, it's going to be something very different because they are not going to see me in person. They are going to see me maybe on videos or maybe on calls. So that thought kept coming on my mind, and it was like, okay, I know people and I want to go and interact with them. So The best thing, what first thing that I enjoyed in GMI was to interact with my own people who I was coordinating on the phone, who I was maybe seeing on videos. That was the best thing that I got to know immediately after coming. Talking about GMI specific as such, I can say that GMI as an organization, I think was completely different. When I got the job, I didn't know what exactly GMI is about. But when I started working, that I understood that the work culture over here is something very different. It's not like what a normal company would have. The way the GMI takes care about its employees, the level of trust that is placed, the transparency that is there, it was something very different, something very unusual. And that like really hit me that wow, somebody can be so different, somebody can think so much for the employee, somebody can care so much. And all these experiences put together, there are very many instances about caring, about being transparent, about ownership mindset. A lot of these incidents have literally made me think, like, that this is something very different and this is actually how a workplace should be.
Hey, thank you. And I must say that the way you manage your job, and your job is unfortunately not a 10 to 5 or 10 to 6 kind of job, along with the responsibilities as a mom for two very young kids, and as a daughter-in-law, sister-in-law, wife. I think that's incredible, and that actually is probably the world's best training for time management and multitasking, etc. You spoke a lot about some of the good things at GMI, but also tell us who you think will not fit into GMI, because it's not that everybody is fits into GMI and can be very successful in a culture like this. Who do you think, what kind of people may not fit into GMI based on your experience?
Mm, so maybe people who are, as I said before this, that transparency over here, it's not just a policy; it's like a core value. Okay, so anybody who's not open to an honest communication, maybe or collaboration, will definitely struggle because this over here it's completely different. We love to be transparent. Everything is open. Everybody knows everything. So if you are not open to a feedback or an honest communication, then maybe that person will not be able to align with the organization. And maybe people who are not very happy or maybe not willing to take initiative or struggle with managing their responsibilities independently, maybe they may not fit well.
Yeah. So I think what I hear you saying is that while there is a lot of transparency and lot of freedom, you may not get enough spoon feeding. You may get a lot of empowerment, but then you might be expected to take a lot of initiative. And that transparency also has to extend to collaboration amongst team members. And and uh, in terms of your experience of other organization at GMI, wherever you have people working, there will always be a little amount of politicking and stuff like that. And how do you see that at GMI?
I'm sorry, if you could just repeat the question, please.
No, I'm saying whenever there are people, there will be a
Hmm.
little bit of politics, little bit
Hmm.
of one-upmanship, and in most organizations. How do you see that at GMI?
So I feel mm, no, I'm not very sure about this question. Um,
You haven't encountered people saying something to your face and doing something else, and that kind of
mm,
situation.
No, PJ. Till now, I don't think I've come across anybody like that in the organization. From day one, everybody around, whoever I have spoken to, has been very, very helpful. I don't think so. I have to literally think. When you ask me this question, I had to ask you also again. I I don't think I have encountered like that. People have been genuinely people care. If you ask for help, they are ready to help you. And it's not like just working hours at any point of time. Even if it is not their task, they are still ready to go beyond and help you. I don't think I have come across this situation.
One of the things that people have told me after leaving GMI is that, you have not prepared us for office politics. And
Yes.
so I don't know whether it's a compliment or it is not a compliment, but that's what they have experienced. Last question to you. If you were to fulfill your potential, and if there were no constraints in what you can do, what what is it that you really ideally like to do, at GMI? And uh, if GMI were to be your dream organization, what do you see yourself doing, and what difference will that make to GMI or to you?
Mm, so if I have to think of maybe what role I should do, or maybe envision myself taking up any role in future, maybe I would want to, of course, the first thing is going to be growth, where I can contribute to the growth of GMI. But I would definitely be interested in maybe development and well-being of our people. I would love to maybe support and mentor others in achieving their goals, just as how I have been supported in my journey here. So maybe you can say that this aligns with my passion of creating a positive impact on people around me.
Yeah, and that sounds so much like you. Zeenat, thank you so much for not just uh, taking time out for this recording, but for joining us and making GMI GMI.
Mhm. Thank you so
Wonderful.
much, Peter. Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity also.